Hello folks, I'm Callus. Welcome to the channel. This is Empyrean Galactic Survival Ultimate Iron Man Challenge Season 1. I have level 25, 757 kills it looks like. I really had no idea my kill count was getting that high. I want to apologize for the voiceover because I'm an idiot, and when I was recording all this I forgot to turn my mic on. I guess that's it. The hazard of turning it off just to record a video is, you know, I'm still new enough at this that I'm gonna forget to turn it back on and off, and one of those things that I didn't think to check before recording. Ultimate Iron Man Challenge for me has my mind going so many different directions. I find it difficult to switch back and forth between tasks, if you will, really all that quickly. So anyway, this is a two-part, I guess, video, which I will explain why a little bit later. I think I had, just for completing the mission, between 2 and 3 hours of record time. Which part of, I had already previously defanged the mission POI as well as all the defenses, and that's what we're showing right here. One thing I do find is, you know, they've added this new auto brake, which really makes it too easy to beat these bases, to take the cannons out, because you can just get, we all know that the guns can't shoot straight up, or the turrets can't shoot straight up, so you just get above them, directly above them, shoot straight down. And the green turrets, whatever they're shooting, I don't know what they are, they can't aim up as well as the other turrets, which I don't know what they are. We're just going to call them laser turrets and cannon turrets. Anyway, so I wanted to throw that in there just to show that I had already defanged them. And coming back with the hover vessel tank, beginning to, well, this is really the beginning of the mission. I'd already, you know, drove around, did a few laps around the buildings to clear out ground troops. However, you know, ground troops are moving around a little better than they used to, so I don't know what their range of movement is yet. And knowing that, or not knowing that, more likely, it's difficult to say if they would eventually approach or not. So I always want the dang turrets on the tank to help guard. I suppose I could put another tank on the other side. The way I've got this tank sitting right now, it pretty much covers both doors, or two doors, you know, when you got a four-sided base with doors on each side. This is about the best I suppose you can get for covering both doors. But thing with that is, you know, it can't really see inside. By the time it has line of sight on enemies that might be coming out, you know, they're already out. And if you happen to be outside, that could become a problem. So I did get the notice on Discord before I started this that apparently this building was bugged. What I couldn't quite remember by the time I got to that point was exactly what parts, how many, and all this and that. One thing I did know was this was my mission objective. Was it the first mission objective in the test season? So I was vaguely familiar with this building, although I also know that Captain Adonis and Know-It-All DM, you know, they've had their hands on it, and who knows what they've done to it. I don't know if, you know, one of them or both of them, you know, equally share making changes. I suppose it doesn't really matter. They're both responsible. So there. And let's see, trying to remember you know, it was almost, you know, it was almost 3 a.m. before I finished recording all this morning. You know, here it is Wednesday right now, as I'm speaking to you right now and recording this audio, this voiceover. It is just 11 a.m. So I played and recorded till 3 a.m. I was up again at almost 8 o'clock to start the processing, and rendering always takes 3 times as long as a video, which is another reason why I sped up part of this video right here. You see, I know that spawn plate is right there, and I had forgotten at this point that in the test season, Know-It-All had mentioned that the thin spawn plates were going to be indestructible. At some point in time in the recording, I did remember that. But there's points in the video where I was trying to shoot out an elevator so that I could prevent Zirax from traveling up and down like I had been doing in all the other non-mission POIs. And, you know, that whole switching gears in the mine thing, I had just forgotten that this was the mission POI and all these blocks are indestructible, but, you know, it doesn't stop me from trying. So, doing my little rounds, trying to check things out. And the drone, of course, does much better. Figured I'd check out these other doors, and they were pretty much as I suspected, because, I mean, I suppose if you had an SV and you wanted to make entry, that would be a possibility. But it looks like all those doors were full health, which means they are not penetrable via the upper floors. Which, need to think about if this is supposed to be by any means necessary. So by only having the bottom doors open and not being able to access any of the upper doors, that kind of defeats that purpose of by any means necessary. If somebody wanted to come bring an SV and do it that way, they'd be kind of screwed. So, just a note. I don't know if that's something that needs to be or should be considered in the future. Oh, I was laughing at this point. I was cussing out my tank because I had heard him spawn, and I looked at the tank, told him to kill him, or shoot him. And I heard one of the guys die, didn't realize that there were 2 that had spawned. So when I come around the corner and got shot, I had to turn back to the tank, and I was cussing him. And then realized I did tell him to shoot him, not kill him. So, you know, whatever. One thing I didn't think about at the time, but turns out I wasn't real comfortable with, and it won't take long to get there, was these other bay doors being open. I wasn't real crazy about these automatic doors in the first place, even these elevator doors here. It's a bit unnerving with this Alpha 9, with the Zirax being able to use stairs and elevators and actually use their bases properly. I find it quite unnerving that you can be standing anywhere near a door, doors all around you, and you start hearing doors opening and closing, and you don't know from where. Oh, yep. Took a shot there. I think it was about here where I think I just took a shot in the back. It was about here when I realized, you know what? Those Zirax, if they get out one of these other doors, they can sneak up around behind me, and we need to be able to stop that. So that's why I was coming around here, closing all these doors again, so that I know they couldn't go out another door, circle back around. If I happen to be maybe alongside in the corner here in drone mode, I didn't want them coming around the corner and getting me. So I was kind of locking them in. There's only one way in and out, and that's right there in front of the tank. I do notice, oh, of course, I guess that's just, and yeah, we've got Zirax. See, like, luckily these guys, I'm assuming these guys drop down from above. It's the only thing I could figure, because there is a sniper right there. And we know they were spawning upstairs because we just killed one up there. So, luckily they fell into that pit. Excuse me. Luckily they fell into that pit and had no way out. My dumbass, though, right here, trying to get shots with this rocket launcher, and I'm like, why in the hell, what's wrong with my rocket launcher? Why won't it fire? And then I realized, because I don't have ammunition. So all that prep work you try and do, and it's still not enough. Well, me, anyway. Like I said, my mind doesn't switch gears so fast anymore. You know, I'm kind of surprised with the turrets. You know, like these two guys spawn right here. I'm kind of surprised that the turrets seem to target one guy, and then when they kill him, they like take a coffee break. I guess they have to reacquire a target, but I mean, it's not like they had to reacquire a whole lot. It was right there. And I'm fighting with them dumb doors. I don't. It was really bothering me, those doors opening and closing by themselves. I would think I would have preferred manual doors, because you just get here and you're exposed. But I guess that's just part of Iron Man. It is what it is. I found a way to work around it. More shots. See, I don't even know where that guy came from. And that's about the time I think I realized that there's got to be a spawner up here. If I recall, in the last season, it was right smack in the middle of the base. Not out on one of these wings, if that's what you want to call it. Yeah, see, I got here and I didn't even have my honey on me. One thing I do like, though, I mean, the logistics part, that being able to reach your, yeah, see, there I found that spawner. Being able to reach into your vehicles and pull out meds, food, whatever. I really like that, especially considering the end of my practice season was because I starved to death. And had this logistics function been implemented then, I would have lived. I know I would have lived, because I've already this season defeated the, oh, you know what? No, that was the abandoned mine in the test season where I died. I don't have that building in this world this season. I only have the abandoned factory, which I find actually one of the tougher buildings in general. The abandoned mine is a little bigger, but you know, it's so much easier in my opinion. So I just one part I do remember, or I did know, was I did remember all these sentry guns. So this is a part I was talking about, trying to shoot out a ladder so they couldn't come up and down, and completely spaced that they're all indestructible. But what I was saying was, I did remember from Season 0, the test season, that all these sentries were around, and it was a lot for what I was used to, I suppose. I was in a habit of closing those doors again. Then it occurred to me, you know, I'm not on the ground floor anymore. Zirax aren't going to be able to just walk in and out freely. So closing those doors was just basically locking myself in, trapping myself. So I left the other ones open. Do remember specifically using that door as cover, and that all I would have to do is just close that door and my aim was already on target. There's all that talk about sentries, knowing that they're there, and walk around the corner right into sentry fire. And this is that part where, see, I remember there being mention of a bugged box, a bugged ammo box on the 3rd floor. And that's where I was noticing it. But I did want to make sure that there was no other way around it. I want to make sure that, you know, it was the right box. And here, I don't know what the deal is. I took half my health points for blowing up a box. Empty ammo box even, so that seems a little excessive to me. Component damage, I suppose. I didn't realize, well, okay, yeah. Come to think of it now. Ammo boxes do have explosion radius just because they're ammo boxes. However, you know, if they're empty, then there's nothing in there to explode. It's nothing but a plastic box by then. It shouldn't have explosive damage, radius damage. So here I was still going around making sure that that one ammo crate was, excuse me, was the bugged one. I had seen mention of it in the Discord just prior to recording. What I didn't realize at the time of recording, was that those upper doors were bugged as well. And later in the video, I mean, I ended up having to take a cut to go double check. I remembered there, at the time I was reading the Discord messages about what was bugged. I was a little confused. And like I said, I was playing this till 3 a.m. So I was more than a little tired. But this video, this part of why, well, this video is the length that it is because that is when I logged out to go check the Discord on the bugged, what was bugged. And here's him. I'm still trying, working with those switches, still can't get those doors to work. Finally decided, okay. I do remember them saying, I think it was Inverted Cow had pointed it out. We're gonna have to God mode in, which, you know, it sucks, but it is what it is. At this point in time, these things should be ironed out by now, in my opinion. Don't forget, know-it-all, that these things are up for the general public to use too, and if they don't know who we are and what we do, but they see the scenario in the workshop and they want to try it out, it's not gonna look very well or very good, because technically it's broke. I was hearing the tank shooting Zirax. I was hearing doors opening and closing all around me. No idea where it was coming from. These Zirax, they just single file right up to the slaughter. Would have been nice if they would have come more than one at a time so I could save bullets, rounds, whatever. I mean, this is the most expensive round I'm aware of in the game for a hand weapon. Using the drone, trying to find if there was maybe another way in. Because you never know. I never know what know-it-all is going to do. Or Captain Adonis, whichever one of you were responsible for all of that. As far as I'm concerned, it's both of you. And this is, I mean, some of these guys have been playing regular Iron Man for, I think, years. And I'd never even heard of it. About the time I even discovered anything about it was about the time they were talking about starting the Ultimate Iron Man Challenge. In fact, I think it was that very video of Know-It-All DMs. And I really liked the way that sounded over the Iron Man Challenge. I definitely like the Ultimate Iron Man, the sound of Ultimate Iron Man challenge better than the Iron Man challenge. Not to say I wouldn't be against playing the Iron Man. That has sounds like that has challenges of its own right. Which, you know, if somebody, I thought somebody was going to take over or run or continue the Iron Man, and if that's the case, you know, I think I'd probably like to give it a go at least once, see if I like it or not. These guys, see, one at a time, costing me all that restroom gel. I'm just actually thankful that you get so many rounds for each gel in here. I realized that that door is open. I can get some shots in. I don't know, I didn't know at the time why that door was open. I still didn't. Right about here, I just hadn't even noticed what was shooting me until just then, or where it was coming from. Then I started to realize that sumbitch is shooting through things that I can't shoot through. So he's glitched in that console. Then I realized, I don't even know if I realized yet, that is why that elevator door was stuck open. So here I was coming to take a look, and yeah, he's like embedded, half embedded into that console. So he's shooting through it, because technically that console's not there to his mind. But in my universe, that console is there and blocking all this damage. I definitely did not want those guys getting in the elevator and coming downstairs, which they'd be manageable. You know, go around the corner, take cover, and shoot them as they come out the elevator doors. So one benefit about down these elevator doors is they're not, you know, you can't break them. They are unbreakable. Trying to find, yeah, that Yahoo's, he's still glitched in. I got more spawning in. I was like, what the hell do I do? Shot a little early there. Waiting for them Zirax to come. I was at one point in time, I was like trying to dance around, get them to notice me, something. I don't know, you know, what the devs have done to work on their pathfinding or how they know to come towards you. I mean, there's some points in this video where it looks like they're running at you, even though they're, you know, you're inside behind a closed door. Granted, they're glass doors, but it almost seems like now they can see you. They act like it. So I think that's something that's probably going to be coming down the pipe. So in a way, the door has part of its physical properties and doesn't at the same time. But then, you know, things like this happen where you're right in front of them. Now, this is the part where I was trying to get them to notice me. Come over here so I can shoot you. You know, and they don't notice you. Over other times, they're running towards the door. Maybe they just run, you know, just run in general. Or just specific ones. At this point in time, I still didn't know that those doors were bugged. What I was trying to do, I thought I was going to have to get in there and find a switch. I didn't know why those guys, see, there he's running right to me. So he seemed to know that I was there. But the other ones kind of meander around. But at this point in time, I was thinking that I would still have to get in, find a switch. But I, you know, doors just won't stay open. I was trying to figure out what I was going to have to do. And eventually it was slowly occurring to me that I was going to have to go check the bug report in Discord. Which might be coming up right about here, yeah. This, folks, is where I make a cut. And at the end of the video, thank you for watching.